Welcome to another episode of The Real Solar. My name is Cesar Delgadillo, and we keep it real. Today, got a special guest with us, my friend, business partner, and badass, you know what I mean? Dog. You know, we got some dogs in this team. And yeah, bro, just good to have you.
Thank you for having me.
You know, it gets crazy, it gets busy, and whatever we do, I mean, we always figure it out. We always roll with the punches, and we don't always have the time to just sit back and do things like this, but definitely thought it would be good to have you on today. And,
I appreciate it. So, I'm happy to be here.
Awesome, brother. So
with The Real.
Yeah.
So my name's Michael Mailing. I go by Mondavi because I'm junior to Pops, and just here with the family. I'm excited to be a part of The Real and talk about the opportunity that we've done together, and I've been a part of, and just get to explain each other's experiences and talk about what we're actually doing here at The Real.
Yeah, man. And I think the biggest thing is people would like to know where it all started, right? Because it's easy to see success once it's already built, right? But people got to understand what it took to build it. So maybe diving in a little bit about how those first few days, first few weeks, how did you find solar? How long have you been in sales? You know, share a little bit about your background.
So before I got into sales, I was actually in football. And that was my career. That was my life. That's what I did for like 15 years of my life. Ended up doing really well, became an All-American, got my graduate's degree, went and trained at multiple camps, went to NFL draft days, ended up not working out. And it was really hard to find myself after that because I was so embodied as an athlete. Yeah. And the thing was, my buddy was doing timeshare. He's like, dude, I'm making 30 grand a month. Come sell timeshare with me. I'm like, 30 grand a month? I just got graduated from college. I'm still eating peanut butter and jellies and top ramen and have no car. I was like, let's go.
Let's get it. Yeah.
So I got into timeshare, started selling timeshare. I did okay in the beginning. Yeah. And then I've realized I took it to my godfather, and I'm like, listen, is this really a good deal? And he was like, let me look at it. Let me look at it. So he looks at it, and he's like, dude, you're selling a scam. You might as well call it crime share. So then I was like, oh man, and it really tore me down because I was like, I don't want to sell nothing that I'm putting people in a bad financial position. Right. So I came into work one day, and they were like, hey, man, you didn't sell anything for a full month.
Bro, it's tough to sell something when you don't believe in it, right? And so I think at that point, you all were already like, it's not that you couldn't sell, you weren't sold on the product yourself, right? So and it's really hard to actually go out and sell something you don't believe in. Because 100%. At the end of the day, you got to wake up and get that. Say I got a $30,000 check, and then 15 families are in a bad situation. That's not good, man.
So then I got fired for having the lowest VPG on. Well, I was one of the lowest VPGs on the floor, volume per guest. Yeah. And so that all happened, and then my brother-in-law, who's now married to my sister, actually works. He's in life insurance, and he goes, why don't you go knock doors? Yeah. And I was like, okay, NFL. Timeshare fired. Now I'm knocking doors.
So you felt like you were just.
I was like, God, what did I do wrong?
Moving levels down as you moved forward, huh?
I was like, what did I do wrong? And so I got into solar, started knocking doors. I quit like 3 times because I was like done. I was like, I don't want to knock on someone's door. Yeah. And then one day, my boss asked me. He goes, "What are you afraid of?" And I was like, I'm Mondavi. Yeah. What am I afraid of? Man, let's go. That same day, I had no car. I got in the industry, no cars, living at my mom and dad still. And I took the bus to the place that I've been knocking for 2 to 3 weeks. Yeah. And I said, if I don't get an RFP today, request a proposal. Yeah. I'm out. Yeah. I'm out. I'm done. Yeah. I went to the hood. I got off the bus. I walked to the neighborhood, got my first RFP that day. Wow. And it wasn't even that I wasn't good at it. It was that I had to make that decision.
It takes a decision, right? Yeah. So that decision on the way to the hood and the bus, you're like, if it doesn't work out today, it's just I'm done. I'm done with this.
I'm done with it.
See, and those are the things that a lot of times people see what you got going on. They see you got the call center and the deals coming in every single day, and it's great, but you could have that day. It could have all been over because it was just a decision, right? You had to make that decision.
You know what? Sometimes in your life, you have to decide: am I going to really do this, or am I just faking it? And that's part of being about the real. Is like, we get real with each other. We tell each other the way it needs to be, not the way that you want to hear it, but the way it needs to be heard.
Yep.
And even if sometimes it hurts some feelings.
Yeah. Sometimes, hey, we got rhino skin, bro. That's the thing. That's why you got to have rhino skin in there.
And iron sharpens iron.
Yep.
And if you're not around people then that's why I'm with the real now, is because we're around people that we can actually grow with, we can succeed with, and we put our egos to the side because we're all about growth. Yep. And so that's one reason why I love this company. But just to give you the beginning, so I ran a door knock team for 3 years, opened an office for Empire Solar Group in Vegas, and then I went and opened up One Solar's office with some partners, and then I came back. I was on ZipRecruiter for a free 24-hour trial.
Oh, wow.
So how I got the call center is actually a funny story. Yeah. So I was on a ZipRecruiter for a free 24-hour trial, or 48 hours, whatever. And I hit up this guy, and I was constantly calling people. And my door knocker called me one night, and he's like, I'm going to hit one last hood.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I'm going to match that energy. I'm going to hit all these calls on ZipRecruiter.
Yeah.
So I hit all these calls up. The last person I called, it was at 8:30 at night. He goes, oh, yeah, I'll come in tomorrow for an interview. He comes in tomorrow for the interview. I was like, yeah, we run a door knock team. We got 40, 30 reps. We're doing like 60 accounts a month. Yeah. I was like, this is what we do here. Do you want a door knock or do you want to close deals? And he goes, neither. I run a call center for 30 years, and how about this? I'm broke. I don't have any money.
Yeah.
I was like, so your call center's not that good.
Right. Shit, it hasn't been working out that great. Shit.
And so he was like, well, don't worry about that. If you pay for all the computers, you pay for the leads, you pay for the dialer, you pay for everything.
Yeah.
I'll build it for you.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right. And what do you want from this? And
he
was like, well, I want $1,000 a week till we get it going. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I give him $1,000 on Monday. He comes back Monday morning. The next week, he's like, bro, I spent all the money. I need $1,000 today instead of Friday. And I was like,
oh, shit.
Oh, man.
Here we go.
Here we go again. So then I give him $1,000, and it comes Wednesday. I'm at lunch. I'm having Thai food, and I'm sitting with my partner at the time. I was like, if this guy doesn't get a deal, I'm done with him. I'm cutting him. I kid you not. 1 second later, Slack pops up on my phone. First call center deal. Boom, 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 boom. So what we had realized is I had 40, 50 door knockers in this room, and they were only generating like 20 appointments a day. Mm-hmm. And we were like, man, that's great. Like, as long as we hit 600 appointments a month, we should close 85 deals a month. It's gravy, right?
Right.
So then the call center, I only had 5 reps. I was, and they were doing more.
With 5 reps?
Five. They were doing 4 to 5 appointments. I had one lady, I forgot her name, Kimberly or something. She was doing 12 appointments a day when I first started. So I was like, man, cost per acquisition to get an appointment. The reps are always at the office, And then I was like, this model is just.
And let's face it, some people are better on the phone than in person.
You know what? That's what they say.
And you never have a bad hair day on the phone, right?
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about what you're wearing and all that. As long as your tonality your presentation is tight, then you're gravy.
You know, the call centers say that they all don't have they all have faces for radio.
Right.
So that's the fun part. They come to the office. They don't get to actually touch the customers like we do. Because you came up in the door knocking industry too, right?
Absolutely.
So that's why we have similar backgrounds. So then the call center was. So now I've been running a call center for about a year and 5 months, and we've seen almost an 800% increase.
Wow.
In just 6 months, and then it's just constantly going up. So that's
and it's not to discourage the people that are knocking doors, but it's to complement from what you're doing. Because if you can go out and self-gen, by knocking doors and closing deals out there, but then on top of that, you can get appointments set up for you.
Yes.
Then it's a win-win. You can pack your calendar, man.
Well, that's what's good about Real Solar is it builds upward verticals for the company. Most solar companies, you have door knockers and you have closers, you have regional managers, and then you have the dealer.
Right.
So there's no real upward mobility or any verticals in the company.
Right.
Like it's not a bad thing. It's just saying that the people that are performing at the highest level, they get appointments.
Right.
I mean, as they should.
I mean, it's just like the best hitters in a baseball team bat, third through fifth in the lineup because they're the best hitters.
That's the way it should be.
And so that's where you get rewarded by results, which brings up another point that it's great for the competitive spirit of the organization.
Oh yeah.
Right, because we understand that if you're closing at a high level and you're one of the top producers, you're going to get rewarded more than everybody else. But it's the name of the game.
And as it should be.
Yeah, 100%.
As it should be. We get paid on performance. So everything in the company what I love about Real is everything is built on performance. Whether it's what you're getting paid, whether you're getting appointments, or whether, we have enough time to, there's a lot of people in the organization already.
Yeah.
What are we at now?
Yeah. Over 300 enrolled, you know what I mean? And so a lot of them are just making the transition. A lot of them are just learning. There's some new people, but we should have, before the end of the year, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be a comma somewhere in the number of people we have.
As we should.
So, yeah.
And just to say, as long as I've been in solar, and I've been a part of, offices that are doing $7-8 million of revenue a month, and that's around 120 deals, 130 deals. To see the growth that we've done in the last, since July 1st? Yeah. July 1st, our launch party was at the end of that.
The end,
or the beginning of that.
The end of September, beginning. No, I'm sorry.
It was the end of June.
End of June, July, September being the first 2 months. Yeah.
For 2 months.
July, August, and now September. Yeah, 2.5. We're not even 2.5 months in. Yeah. So now our first 90 days, not bad.
Just to imagine what we're going to be doing in 6 months from now. If we're already at 300 people, imagine what we're going to be doing.
Dude.
In 6 months.
From the beginning, man, when we went down to SolarCon a few months back, before we even launched Real, we said we're gonna get by next SolarCon we're gonna have 5,000 people, and that's still the goal. We're looking to have in Real's first full calendar year, we want to have over 5,000 people and have more boots in the ground than anybody else out there.
Absolutely,
that's 100% the goal, and not bad. We're not on pace per se, but we're not a normal company where we're not looking at 1 + 1 = 2.
Yeah.
We're looking at quantum leaps.
Yeah.
Because we said it at SolarCon. There was 5 people officially registered on the team.
That's
5.
Crazy.
And I remember posting about it. I said these 5 will turn into 5,000.
Right.
And so just a few months later, we're already at over 300. We're gonna get to that 5,000, baby.
We'll be at 1,000 by the end of the year.
Oh yeah.
That was our first. That was our first M1.
Yeah. That is the first checkpoint. Right. It's not the finish line, but it's a checkpoint.
Our first checkpoint's 1,000 reps. And so a little bit about why we got together and why this is why we're building so well together. And what I love about Real is that they've opened up the playbook. They're able to have dealers in this state, and then for me, I know everyone around the United States. I have a guy building an office in Chicago, Illinois.
Yep.
Before my opportunity with Real, I wouldn't have been able to do that.
Yep.
I wouldn't just be able to just say, hey, here's a platform for you to succeed from. Yep. Have fun.
There you go, man. That's the biggest thing right there.
Have fun.
Yeah, have fun. Let me know.
Let me know how it goes.
Yeah.
If you need support, call my boy right here. Give me a call. But that's been the difference.
That's 100%, man. And because a lot of people out there that are thinking of starting their own dealer, or it goes like this. People come in there, usually people that are new, they're trying to jump to be a closer too soon. Yes. So they stop setting appointments because they want to go be a closer.
Every time.
And then from being a closer, they want to get into some sort of management or leadership position, usually too soon, right? And then next thing you know, they want to start their own company way too soon and be their own dealer. And the reality is that it's not about what position or what title, it's how good you are performing that position.
Right.
Who cares the position? Is how good are you in that position?
You pay for your value.
I'd rather have a great setter than a half-ass closer.
Yeah.
I'd rather have somebody that's a great closer than somebody that's half-assing running a team.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not about, I got to get my own dealer. I got to get my own. I got to get my own team. It's wherever step you're in the game, play that out better than anybody else. And I learned that from my dad, dude. So my dad, he's done all kinds of stuff. He's had his own business. He's worked with other people, but I see him working just as hard, if not harder, when it was someone else's business. Because he says, dude, my name is still behind it. At the end of the day, he was even a butcher for some time. He did all kinds of shit, man. But I remember this time he was a butcher, and he's cleaning this place up like they were, you know what I mean, like clean, squeaky clean. And I'm like, Dad, aren't you like the butcher? Like, yeah. He's like, but then when they come in the morning, they're gonna ask who was the butcher that left this place, and I want them to say it smells good, it looks good, everything's where it's supposed to be, and that's my standard. I don't give a shit how much I get paid, because that has nothing to do with my level of expectations for myself. So for me, it was like, damn, dude, I take that to this day, where I talk to setters that want to be closers. Why? Because they think there's more money. Well, if you're a bad average closer, you're gonna make less money than a high level setter.
Yeah.
If you're a high-level closer, you're going to make more money than someone that supposedly has a team and is managing all these people, or has their own dealer, but they're half-assing that operation. They're going to make less money owning their own dealer than somebody that's a top closer somewhere else.
Exactly.
Right? So that's where we want to encourage people here, that it's like, be the best at the level you're at right now. Right. Don't try to get ahead of yourself, because you don't need to. The opportunity is so big that no matter what position you're in right now, you can kill it, man. There's people making 7 figures selling solar, man. Like literally in sales, in their own personal sales.
And you don't have to invest all your money back in. You don't have to create all this opportunity. There's so much.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about. Stress do we do? Oh, dude, half of the time is putting out fires. When you're a leader of an organization, half of the time, because just when you think you have everything lined up perfectly, other shit pops up, and then you got to adjust to that. Right.
Always.
And we're going through it right now, right? It's constant change. That's something. Problems. Yeah. And you have to be ready for that. And if you're a top producer and you're going out there closing your own deals day in and day out, and you don't have to be distracted by the business side of it, then it's like, sometimes it's a better position.
Days.
Dude,
I miss those days.
Big time.
Just go out and make money.
Throw down, make money, and go out and just keep track of your pipeline, and then make sure everything else is getting taken care of. But, dude.
That's the easiest life.
So.
Like, I miss the days when I was a setter, and this is what I loved about being a setter. I could go out and set, I used to do like 35 appointments a month when I was a door knocker. So when I'd go out, I'd set appointments. The good thing about it is I don't have to spend 2 hours in the home with the client, and they might even cancel. I could just go knock a door, set the appointment, give this off, go knock, run. I used to run through the people's neighborhood. So, like most people, when they knock doors, they go like around the yard, come back, around the yard.
I was cut
streamlining it
through the yards,
and they'd be looking at me. I'm like, hey, how's it going?
Dude, that's an extra. How many steps are you saving instead of using the sidewalk, right?
Exactly. And it's all about efficiency at that point. And that's why I love the call center, and that's kind of why I've stuck on this model. Like, our door knockers now all want to be closers, because they see like a normal door knocker. Like, okay, so we just hired this guy. He just came, literally, this new guy that just started working with us hasn't sold solar a day in his life.
Yeah.
Has had no sales experience in his life.
Yeah.
We give him our script. We call it the $1 billion script. He reads the script. The next 3 days he trains. On the day he starts, he did 5 appointments.
Wow.
His first day. And the transition from a door knocker to a call center rep, and that's why I give so much credit where credit's due, man. Mm-hmm. If you're out there knocking doors and you're out there succeeding, like, you have a lot about you. Like, you have a lot of grit,
it shows
perseverance. Shows a lot about your character. You're not just willing to give up when it gets hard. Like, I have a lot of respect for door knockers, but the time it takes to develop that, if they're not like us.
Yeah. You got to be mentally strong, man. You got to have rhino skin. Yeah. You got to just be driven. That's really the word right there.
It is. It really is. In this industry, if you're not driven and you just, the money's great.
Yeah.
The money's great.
Yeah. But it's allocated for driven people. Yeah. Driven people get 99% of the money in the industry.
Yeah. And that's a big part the good thing is too, is we're transitioning from just being a door knock company and a closer company to being able to provide leads for our top people.
Yep.
And I think that's where the call center is nice, is because I'm able to, if you guys had a market you guys want to blitz in, great. What's the zip codes? Boom. We start call centers in that spot.
Right.
You want to start a new market. Hey, I need 20 sales a month. Okay, I need this many leads, and we can get 20 sales.
Right.
So now
we can feed around those blitzes, the door knocking, and the call center, and really just be in those neighborhoods. Really target those areas, whether people are hearing from us over the phone, whether we're knocking on their door, whether they see us online, like all those things we can bring together. But having the call center as a pillar, it just bleeds onto the whole entire organization, because now they know that, hey, listen, if knocking doors is a little slow this month, for whatever reason, right? Homeowners are getting hit up so much in a certain area where they don't even want to open the door anymore, right? Because it happens. There's areas that get hit up so much that you knock on the door, they're like, dude, they don't even want to talk to another. They don't even want to give you a chance. And all of a sudden, sometimes you can, with the phone call, they'll tell you, like, man, I've had a bunch of people knocking on my door because I know you guys hear about that.
Oh, all the time. Right? We actually ask customers. So I spend days where I actually go out and meet all the homeowners. So I'll go to like farmers markets, which we have one here.
Going on right now.
I'll go to Walmart's, the Whole Foods, and I'll just like, I take off a day of work and I'll go to these places and just talk to all the people in there. Like as a normal person, they don't know I sell solar. And I ask them like, man, what do you guys think about this whole solar stuff? Like, oh my God, I had 4 people knock on my door this month.
Yeah.
I had 3 guys knock on my door yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, for you guys that are out there knocking doors, I have so much respect for, especially if you're doing it in Las Vegas. It is hot.
Yep.
It is hot. It's a very hot place. So we go and ask all these people, and people are getting knocked 3 to 4 times a week.
Yep.
It's
and a lot of people live in gated communities.
Oh.
So
what do you do then?
Yeah. If they don't pick up the phone, it's really hard to get a hold of them. Either the way they get solar is because either they went online looking for it themselves. They might have ran into, a salesperson in Costco or one of those.
Costco, yep.
Right?
Yep.
Or they got a phone call. So that puts us in the game versus, because if we're not in Costco, right?
Yeah.
And they didn't look us up online.
Or Sam's Club or something.
Right. And we can't even get into the neighborhood and knock doors, then the only other way to get them is through the phone.
Exactly.
So
and I remember back in the day when I was door knocking, we used to have to run. We'd wait for someone to go through the gate. And I don't know if you guys know this yet. I'll just give a little trick. But if you go to every like gate box has like a code for the UPS driver.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone kind of knows that.
Right. It's kind of like
not really secret. But when you get to the house, we used to run in that neighborhood and we'd be like, all right, everyone knock as fast as you can
and get out. Yeah.
And until someone kicks you guys out.
Right.
And we used to do it. I mean,
Well, the thing is now, then you build up that animosity with the neighborhood, right? If a neighbor walks out, now they definitely don't want to get solar from you because you're breaking their rules. The reason they live in a gated community is to avoid that. And now we're overstepping those boundaries. Now we're those assholes that walk in there, don't respect their rules. They don't want to do business with us, right? Most of the time.
That's true.
You can get a few and maybe you picked up 1 or 2, but you can't really penetrate that neighborhood. Now, once you're in there, because they accepted an appointment through the call center.
Yes.
Now I'm there sitting with that family. Now I can start asking like, hey, how does your HOA work? I would love to be the preferred solar rep here for your community. And I'll give you guys special attention. I'll add this to your deals that no one else is getting, spice it up a little bit so that now you can become that preferred. And so as a rep, if I have an appointment in a gated community, I can now infiltrate that thanks to an appointment that was set by the call center.
Exactly. You get referrals.
Yeah.
And that's another thing too is that neighborhoods now these days, I mean, the HOAs and stuff like that, like it's they can't tell us no, but if they own the roof is the only time where you really stay out of that hood.
Right. And this is where it has more challenges because now they have to accept it because they still own the roof and all that. But, in Vegas, we see a lot of that, right? Yeah. A lot of gated communities, And
when growing up, I lived in a gated community my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
So the only door knocking I ever had to do as a child was when the football team was like, hey, you guys got these chocolate bars?
Right.
You got to go sell these chocolate bars. And I'd be like, oh my God, coach. I'd call my grandma. I'm like, Grandma,
just buy all these.
Just buy all these, please. And so when I actually heard about the opportunity to go and door knock, I had never even seen a door knocker.
Right. So it was like literally like people really door knock, right?
Yeah.
It's like
and
shit.
in Italy, if you door knock, you're a beggar.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
Italian,
yeah.
so
yeah.
my cousins and family were like, dude, you're a little beggar.
Damn, bro, you're out there knocking on doors.
And it really,
like,
you know what? Door knock was one of the most game-changing things of my life. Yeah. And for you to even get a call center appointment and not know how to door knock is kind of detrimental, because when you get an appointment and you sell a deal, the people around the house that you sold are more likely to buy solar than any home in the neighborhood.
Yep.
So if you're out there knocking and you're not knocking the hood after, like I've shown up to houses, like even when I was door knocking, we never called to confirm. We just showed up at the house. I'm here. You set the appointment. I did it.
Yep.
You did. So I'm here.
Let's get it done.
And if it wasn't gonna work, you said you were gonna call me before and let me know that we can't make the
appointment. Yeah, and talking a little bit about the non-confirm and confirm appointments, explain that a little bit, because most sales guys said, no, I got to confirm the appointment.
Yeah.
But in reality, you've seen that you have more success just not confirming, because you're giving them a second chance to say, no. You know what? Shit, I did say Sunday, but it's the first week of the season. Yeah. I'd rather push it till next Sunday.
Exactly.
Versus showing up and they're watching the game and be like, oh, dude, that's right. I set up the appointment. They're already here. The game doesn't start in 30 minutes anyway. Let's get it out the way. You know what I mean?
And then you're hanging out with them the rest of the day, watching the football games. Like, hey, solar's not. Yeah, you guys are.
You know what I mean? Good. Let's get it done. You know, whatever is on TV, whatever dinner, whatever else life is happening for them, you're already in the house.
So the way we look at it, though, is you're right. So there's confirmed appointments, unconfirmed. The way I look at it now, and you know, we were setting 600. We set 690 appointments last month. Just my team in Vegas. And what we had realized is that when we were telling customers, hey, we're going to be there on August 1st at this time, you know, whatever, you know, this closer is going to be the one showing up. He's the one for the zip code. And we were calling to confirm. And then when people wouldn't answer the phone, we wouldn't send anyone. And then we were like, man, so we had 40 appointments on Saturday. And only like 14 confirmed. So all the other people might have just not answered the phone, but they're expecting us.
And so if you didn't show up,
if we didn't show up, we don't know.
Now you look like you're the irresponsible one.
Right? Yeah. So from an integrity standpoint, it makes more sense to just show up from an integrity standpoint.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then what we had realized is when you show up to life, when you show up to appointments, when you show up to the doors, when you show up to the call center, better things happen in your life when you just show up.
Because see, even if you show up and they're like, oh man, I forgot.
Reschedule.
But the reschedule is way more likely to now buy, because now they feel bad. Now the ball's on their court. Hey, we showed up when we said we were going to show up. You weren't ready. It's okay. When can I come back? Right? It's better than calling like, oh, they didn't answer to confirm, I'm not going.
Exactly.
And so that's a big point, because I think that a lot of people are going to leave money on the table if they're only waiting for confirmation appointments.
Exactly. I mean, think about it. The guy on the phone, where there's so much work behind before you get to that appointment. And that's kind of what I like to describe. So in order to get that appointment, we had to buy the data. The data then had to go on the dial. We had to then have a call center rep call on that data.
Yeah.
And then that call center rep's is sending those appointments. But you know what that call center rep's doing? Is hoping that appointment sits. Because he only gets paid on performance. So if we were having appointments not show up and you don't even go to show up, listen, dude, that guy, all that work put behind that one appointment is now gone.
And those are people that are doing quality work to get you that opportunity.
Yeah.
It's a whole it's a ripple effect.
Yes.
Both positive and negative.
Yes.
So we have to take big responsibility when we take on a lead.
When you take on a responsibility of a call center, you got to expect to be busy. My whole job is to keep every closer busy.
Yeah.
I don't like guys sitting in my office. We have a pool table. They'll be in there shooting pool, and I'm like, listen, guys. And when my director came in, he goes, man, I'm so sick of people coming into this office and sitting there just playing pool.
Yeah.
Like, how do we keep them all busy?
Right.
And that's the goal. You want to keep a lot of solar companies, they'll have, 120 reps working for them, and only 20 of them are producing.
Yeah, yep.
But to have an entire organization producing numbers and making money.
The 80-20 rule, right?
Yes.
20% of your organization does 80% of the volume.
Yeah, exactly.
A good organization can flip those numbers around so that there's a lot of people producing at a high level, and that's what creates one of the top organizations in the country, and that's what we're after, right?
Yeah, that's all.
That's where our goal is, to be the number one solar sales company in the world. If we're doing it in the States, it's pretty safe to say in the world, right?
Yeah.
The number one solar sales company is going to be from the States. So, yeah, and that's what we're after, and that's what we're shooting for, guys. And where can they connect with you, man? Where can they find you on IG or something?
Yeah, my Instagram's Mondavi. And if you want to connect with me, just reach out. I know that means we do a great thing with the call center, guys. So if you're a closer, you're sick of knocking doors, you're sick of going out there and pounding your head against the soil, and you've been in the industry for a long time, you're kind of burnt out, call us. We have a home for you. We do have a home from them.
Yeah,
if
absolutely.
they're tired, call us.
Man, and I don't care if you're running your own dealer, man, even joining with your own dealer. There's so many dealers that are coming part of the real opportunity now, because we have a unique opportunity to position everybody, no matter where you're at, whether you're starting out in the industry or you've been in there for a few years and you got your own business and you got your own dealer going. Yeah, we want to talk to everybody so that we can join forces, and it's better to be part of the biggest team than just being part of a team that's doing okay, that's doing all right. But if we can 10x where you're at, because chances are, if with time and with a good game plan, we can do that. Definitely. That's our goal for every single person out there. So definitely connect with us. Mondavi, again, you can, if you're interested in your area, right? Because you're not limited to Las Vegas.
Yeah, we're in 19 states with Real. So in 19 states, wherever you guys want to sell solar at, if you guys want to come reach out and figure out how to franchise maybe your own model within our company, we can work out that. But most importantly, guys, if you guys have a door knock team and you're a huge organization, you have data. Bring that data to Real Solar, and let's make you money on the money you don't even have coming in. Yep. We take dead data, and they call me the alchemist, because people bring us stuff that they're not making money on. They bring it to Real gives it to us, and we turn that data that's not making you any money into money. Yep. And if that's one thing we can do,
making something out of nothing, bro. That's God's work right there. Come on, let's get it, man. Well, there you go. Another episode of The Real Solar. We'll catch you on the next one.